You're watching F5. We are here at AppWorld 2025 at the Fontainebleau. I am really excited to be joined by a couple esteemed guests right now. So I will start off with Haiyan. Haiyan might be familiar to some folks, but Haiyan, can I get you to introduce yourself?
Haiyan Song. I work at NetApp. I look after our cloud ops business, but also building ecosystem solutions with partners like F5. We're all about bringing intelligence to data infrastructure. And I did work at F5 before that. So I had the opportunity to lead the creation of the distributed cloud services. Super special to be here.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, you just get to continue your work just under a different label.
Totally.
Awesome. And Sean?
Yeah, I'm Sean Wormke, and I'm the Vice President and General Manager of NGINX. And also under my purview is the new AI Gateway as well. So it's great to be here with Haiyan and see her again. She's a longtime friend of mine and a great champion of F5s too.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay. So speaking of being a champion, you were a champion for us on stage just recently here. So maybe we can get a recap of what you shared with the audience.
Wow. I got a chance to share the stage with Sean to talk about AI, talk about how the partnership between NetApp and F5 are really paving the way for our customers on their AI journey. I would say a couple points. Maybe I'll start. I think the most profound is the NVIDIA CEO actually stood up, on stage and talked about how half of the world's files are stored on NetApp. And if I translate that in the context of AI, it means half of the world's enterprise knowledge, customer insights, and operational data are stored within the system. And what's even more interesting, of course, is not just the files and the data, is for AI to be successful, is not just about powerful compute, it's about the connectivity and the ability to access those data whenever you need it, wherever you need it, and do it securely and in the manner that really meets the customer's requirements. So that's kind of the start of my conversation on the whole partnership.
Yeah, fantastic. And I guess the other piece of this that you're continuing on from your previous role is that connectivity and the security of that, kind of getting it out to where it needs to be used. And part of that is AI Gateway, I guess. And so we play a role in that.
Yeah. So I think that there's a couple of things. One is that, F5's customers and our users have data volumes that are distributed all over the place. And like Haiyan said, most of that is in NetApp products. And with distributed cloud, we can securely connect those volumes together, get them securely connected to our users' data and their applications, and then we can provide protections on top of that with things like AI Gateway and things like Big IP Next for Kubernetes. So the partnership together, I think, is a really symbiotic relationship that allows us to bring the best of both companies together and to really make our customers secure and help them deliver trusted and reliable and secure AI capabilities to their users and to their customers.
Yeah. If I just add to that, I think one of the amazing part of the partnership is we build the solution together using an API-driven approach. So that offers a lot of flexibility on how the world is going to evolve, right, in the AI side. And we don't want customers have to redo everything when their needs changes. So having that future-proof architecture and the implementation that reflects that, I think is super valuable.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I know, Haiyan, you today on stage, you kind of had 4 value pillars that you talked about. I think it'd be great if you could kind of run through those 4 and talk to the folks about what those look like and the value that F5 and NetApp bring together.
Yeah, happy to. I think when we build a solution together, there's really 4 value pillars we focused on, right? One is with the combination of our technology, we can truly deliver data accessibility without compromise. By that, we mean that people's world that's driven by AI, and the biggest competitive advantage is going to be the ability to get to the business data and get to the vital data instantly and securely and wherever they are. I think that's the combination of the technology can deliver that. The second part of the value pillar is around simplified complexity. It's an interesting term because we do live in a very complex world, distributed in different places. So that's where the F5 distributed cloud services can just bring the different environments together in a seamless way where NetApp can just deliver the data to wherever this needs to be. So the point there is we want customers to focus on their AI innovation, not about managing infrastructure that it can be complex, right? The third part is truly about security and performance at scale. I still remember all the great things we do here at F5, the web application firewall, the load balancing, and the AI gateway, and you can truly deliver that performance. And because customers are going to scale their AI applications in a way that we want that solution to be both very powerful with the security features, very secure as well, together with our secure data management. I think the last point is, we already touched on it, is about future-proof. Because we live in a very, very, rapidly evolving world and landscape of AI, and you want to build the solution in a way that can adapt as your needs change.
Yeah, and the thing that I love is the simplified complexity. We had a great demo together on stage, showing the products working together. And I've been lucky enough this week to talk to executives and senior leaders and architects about their AI strategy and their applications and how they're doing that. And I had lunch today with a gentleman, and he said, look, I was trying to figure out how to put all of these things together. I was having trouble convincing my leadership that we should even do some of these things. And he said, I saw the demo on stage, and I saw how easy it would be to connect these things together with distributed cloud and NetApp. And he's like, I think I can go back to my leadership now and say, look, we have a very secure solution, we have a very scalable solution, and it's going to work for us in the future. And I was so excited by that conversation because he said before it was complex, and you guys have simplified it down to just a few clicks to connect things together, and it makes me feel more comfortable, and it makes me feel like we're going to have a reliable, scalable solution for the future. So I was really happy to hear that.
I'm so thrilled. That makes this whole preparation for all the talk so worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah. Right away.
Yeah. That's awesome. One of the points, as I talked to a couple of NetApp's folks as well, is that these problems have been solved by our organizations for a while now, but to your point about enterprise data and the value of enterprise data, because we've all seen now that open models out there are just trained on the open internet, and that kind of levels the playing field for everybody to be able to use it. But where business differentiation comes is when you have all of the insights that your business has gathered and how you conduct business. And that is really, really core, but that's also really, 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 really sensitive and needs to be secured and transported quickly to make action or perform action on that data.
Yeah, so I think you're just touching the point why the demo and the whole sort of technology behind it, we highlighted the ability to build secure and scalable RAG implementations, right? That's really the best way to combine what's out there as public knowledge with something that's super special of your business knowledge, and while sort of maintaining the privacy and confidentiality, but provide your customers the right context for the answers. So I think that this is where NetApp's data management solution, we have the flexibility together with the connectivity to basically say, hey, there's the bigger sort of model, and then here's the RAG, and you can have total flexibility to figure out which one would serve the right data context for those queries, and that's how the magic happens.
Yeah, and I think that the amazing thing about the solution is that it doesn't matter where those applications are running or where that data is stored, whether it's on-prem or in a cloud or in a hybrid of both. The two solutions together really are able to serve customers in their complex environments and be able to help them be successful no matter where they're at. Because enterprise is a messy world. It's complicated, and really bringing the level of complexity down, no matter where they're at, and unifying that. It's a very powerful thing that we're able to do together.
Yeah.
We may even call that the ball of fire.
We may call it the ball of fire. Yes, that is the F5 ball of fire that we talk about all the time, and I think that that's the other thing when I've talked to many leaders around here, and why this event actually has been so successful for them is that they're able to come together across the industry and realize that they're not alone. Every company, no matter what vertical they're in, or whether they're in governments or service providers, they're all suffering from that ball of fire, and they're all looking for ways to tame that. And I think F5 is one of the only companies around that can do that in any environment that they're running, and the partnership with NetApp makes that even more successful.
Yeah, fantastic. As part of that ball of fire too, one thing I notice about NetApp is that cloud is something that you seem to take advantage of, as opposed to, you see some of the older technologies out there, maybe we'll call them legacy technologies out there, they haven't really embraced cloud and being able to prove that it's valuable to bring along those technologies or use those technologies as first-party services inside of cloud. But that's something NetApp has been really good about.
Yeah, NetApp really sort of was very strategic in investing in cloud, years ago, before sort of everybody's like, what's going to happen, right, to the legacy and technology on storage. So we have been just very, very focused on innovation, and not just innovation, but partnership, right? Yeah. Just like F5 and NetApp coming together, we worked very closely with the hyperscalers as well, try to bring our technology, everybody knows, just like BIP is kind of the brand for F5, and ONTAP is the brand for NetApp. So bring that data management capability and that flexibility and that enterprise grade to the hyperscalers offering. So we got 3 1P offerings with all the 3 hyperscalers, and customer are moving their mission critical, highly demanding workloads to that. And I'm super excited. That's when the distributed cloud services can help us bring, the hybrid world together and really perform what you talked about on the RAG implementation, giving the flexibilities. The data can come from, cloud, can come from their hybrid environment, can come from their on-prem, because data are just essentially distributed. For AI, you don't want to copy data all over the place. That flexibility is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that data ingestion piece is a huge problem for our customers. It can be very expensive for them to be able to do that. And I think that we're bringing the F5 products to bear on that, whether it's load balancing or whether it's security, helps manage that cost. It helps make sure that they're able to run that anywhere they want, and really help them get the most out of their infrastructure that they have. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting approach.
Yeah.
Well, and one part that's probably more adjacent but talked about with security as well as compliance, especially with AI, where we already saw just in generally with data compliance issues around where is this data, because the data folks, when they're building AI, they kind of want it everywhere. And there needs to be a little bit more guardrails on where certain data can actually live and be at rest. But this is something I believe NetApp has been able to solve time and time again.
Certainly is a big focus area for us, especially given the needs of having data being available to do all the training and RAG, and in the meantime, making sure you truly protect your customers, IP and information and others. So we continue to add capabilities into our data management platform, if you will. ONTAP going to continue to be enhanced to support those type of discovery of data and classification of data. And for us, we use the term intelligent data infrastructure. Part of the intelligence is to have the understanding of the data and the requirements from compliance and others' perspective, so we can properly protect it and serve the right context when needed.
Some of the architectures that we're seeing now, I know it was demonstrated already, but when it comes to moving data around, we also look at the term data gravity, and how much of that is going to be a scenario where maybe you carve off some of the data as part of that. Maybe it comes down to privacy and whatnot. But this data gravity problem, is it going to be something where we do have to actually start to look at maybe regionalized points of presence for big data stores, and then be able to just have really fast connectivity to that if we just want that last mile to maybe be something like the distributed cloud to be able to get you there? Or do we have to solve that in different ways?
Well, I think that it's obviously still early in this journey, and data gravity is a huge problem for our customers. But I think, more than ever, we're seeing people be strategic about where they place those workloads, because those data transit costs can really strain, I think, the ROI oftentimes on AI. We've heard customers who have come to us and said, I'm spending more on the egress costs than I am on anything else that I'm doing. And I think by having a solution like distributed cloud and being able to place those workloads closer to the data that they need in order to be successful is a huge benefit to the customers. And I think we'll see more and more of that. And I think it'll continue to evolve as regulations, for example, come out, because companies, depending on where they're doing business, whether they're in California or in the EU or maybe in Singapore, like all of these countries and states and localities are starting to bring regulations to bear, which also is going to have an impact, I think, on where they're at. And being able to have sort of this agnostic way to place workloads and be able to connect that data together in a secure way, I think it's going to be paramount for large companies, especially worldwide companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We use a term, sometimes we call it bring AI to data. Mm-hmm. And I think the F5 solution can play a really important role. How do you bring AI to data versus have to replicate data to different places? And to his point, it's still early, right, in all those innovation cycles and things. But I think that vision going to help us really try to tame this crazy world of data in many different places with different requirements. I think it's the partnership and the solutions that we both work together on to make it happen.
Yeah, fantastic. We're running out on time. I know you folks are really busy, so I don't want to make you late for your next meetings, but I did want to give you guys an opportunity to give us maybe a closing thought and what you want people to take away from all the things that they'll see from NetApp and F5 here at AppWorld 2025. And maybe I'll let Haiyan actually be the closer. So Sean, I'll actually start with you on what your thoughts are.
Well, I think for me, not just with NetApp, but our partners are a huge part of our success here at F5. But this partnership that we have with NetApp it's super valuable. It provides so much value to our customers, and I think the amount of capabilities that we can bring to bear together to solve this problem and really drive the future of AI it's something that no two other companies, I think, can do. So I really value the partnership, Haiyan.
Yeah, same here. I think the combination of the connectivity, solutions that's so superior and so flexible together with, or I would say very powerful data management solutions can truly come together and pave the way for people who are on this journey for AI. And I think one of my closing thought on the main stage talk was, in the world where AI become table stakes, capabilities table stakes, it's how you implement them becomes your competitive advantage. So I think with the combination like this, we can help you with having the best infrastructure, and so you can innovate without any constraints. You're not being held back because you have limitations there. So that's what I'm super excited about.
Awesome. Those great thoughts there. Fantastic. All right. So I know for more information, folks can head over to f5.com/NetApp. We have a partner page set up with you guys. We actually have a bunch of demo videos already. Like, this stuff is real. There's documented deployments of this already. So anybody can actually go kick the tires today on what all this stuff looks like. Otherwise, thank you very much for checking out this video and this podcast. If you want to see more or hear more, make sure you like, subscribe, leave comments if you can. And otherwise, we will see you or speak to you on the next one. Bye now.